Alright, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Marvel Legends review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the third figure in the wave that I bought, the Marvel Legends Secret Wars Black Suit Spider-Man. I'm kind of on the fence about this because I kind of already feel like I got my ultimate kind of Black Suit Spider-Man figure, but I do really like the head sculpt on this. This one I think is a little bit more comic accurate than the older retro carded Spider-Man. I do really like that head sculpt that he comes with. I like that a lot. And of course, I like the shield. I think the shield's cool because I'm a massive Black Suit Spider-Man fan. It's my favorite Spider-Man costume. So obviously, I'm going to get a bunch of them if they release one, if it looks good enough. And they also do have, as you can see here on the palm tops, more accurate, at least to this story anyway, the more accurate web shooters on the top of his hands. So I'm going to stop back in, get him out of the box, and we're going to see how cool he actually is up close. Alrighty, and here is the Black Suit Secret Wars Spidey out of the packaging with all of his accessories. And something kind of funny happened. I was taking him out of the box, and initially when I saw this figure, and maybe I'm just an idiot, I initially thought that this was basically just to renew your Val's figure without toe articulation, with different feet. I took him out and I realized he feels kind of small compared to that. So I did some looking around, and sure enough, he's not the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body. He's the Amazing Fantasy 15 one. He just doesn't have the little spots for the web wings. So I'll show this off a little bit later on in size comparisons. But that I thought was kind of funny, and it actually makes me like this figure even more, because this can almost stand in as more of a, I guess, teenage Peter Parker with the black suit. So that in mind, I like this figure even more now. Because initially I was very like, I think I even said it earlier, I have the animated series VHS Spider-Man, which is my favorite black suit Spider-Man so far that Marvel's released. And I have all of them, minus the Ultimate Spider-Man 5-pack where they had the more metallic purple symbiote Spider-Man, and I don't have the 2-pack that came with Kraven for the Kraven's Last Hunt, which I like the antennae or tendrils or whatever they're called, these at the top of the spider, on that Spider-Man figure, because it's different than all the other ones and it's more accurate. I don't know. These ones, I guess maybe they're just easier to do, but they're kind of just like these little stumpy kind of bits here, which look okay, but I like the other one better. So I have most of the more modern ones, and so far that VHS one is my favorite because I like the highlighting because it makes it look more like the symbiotes on him. But I do like this now, knowing that he is a bit on a smaller body, so that does make it a little bit more of a reason for you to have him. So that being said, I already like the figure. It's a good figure. I'm not saying it's a bad one at all, but I like it even more now. And I will say, out of all the Secret Wars figures, he does come with the fewest amount of accessories, but it's still a good bit because he comes with the shield, as you can see here. That goes back from Peter to Spidey, and it has the little Secret Wars thing that you can just, it's got the little notch here. You just pop your fingernail in it. Open up, and this one already came out, so saving me a little bit of time. But you pop the face out, you can just put this little one in there, and boom, there you go. Pretty cool. I mean, all of them have this. And this is my third figure I've reviewed, so I have a bunch of these things and these shields laying around. But I am glad I have them. It is really cool. Obviously, I'm going to put it with the Spider-Man head, and then you can obviously have him just peg it onto his wrist, and he can have the shield on. Very cool. Very, very cool. I like it. It's a cool, fun little gimmick. And then, of course, you come with an alternate head, which they kind of didn't have to do, but it's kind of cool if they did. And this head, being it with the squinty eyes and the furrowed brow and just the angry... Let's swap them out here. This, especially on the figure, this really kind of gives me Web of Shadow Spidey vibes, which is kind of cool, which is also another really cool thing about this figure that does kind of set it apart from the other figures, the Black Suit figures that they've done recently. You can kind of get this, pop this head on, and make it more of a Web of Shadow Spider-Man, or you can leave this head on it and keep it more like a McFarlane-y kind of teenage Spider-Man. So it is cool that they did include that. So it doesn't necessarily feel like I'm just buying the exact same figure again. There are differences. He can be a stand-in for other different versions of Black Suit Spider-Man. Then he comes with the right amount of accessories for hands. He comes with 3 different pairs. He's got the fists, these open wall crawling hands with, again, the more triangular web shooters on the top, which is more accurate from at least the Secret Wars. And then he comes with the thwippers, the web shooting hands that have them on the top. They look really good. And Hasbro, you're doing good. If you do any kind of mainline Spider-Man figures, they always got to have the 3 sets of hands. No more, well, you can have more for sure, but no less. You got to at least have those so you can do all the poses properly. So that is another plus in this figure's, I guess, win column, if you want to say. But moving these out of the way, I do want to show off the articulation. If you have the Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man, which is, again, this body mold, you're going to know what he does, but I'm still going to go over it. Again, it's very basic Marvel Legends, but, rotate the head. It's on the disc hinge. I don't know if you can kind of see it because it's all black, but it does have the disc hinge like right there. So you can move back that. Ooh, that moves up very well. You can move down that much. Come around here. Both shoulders come out. That's about as high as they can go. I wish they could go a little bit higher, but kind of the muscles here prevent it. But it's not bad. It's good enough. You can do full rotation, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Sorry. Double jointed elbows. And then all the wrists, they have hinges and rotate. Matter of fact, here, I'll just show it on the flipping hands. You can, again, just move and pop them in there. It can bend too, and if you want to do it like that, because he did flip sometimes like this, I believe, in the comics when he had the symbiote suit. But if you want it to be like the cloth suit, you can have it in like the normal style flipping. Just options you can have. And then of course he does have if you've watched my other Secret Wars reviews, you'll know how much I like this kind of articulation of the torso with the diaphragm that can go forward and back. You can get some really cool side to side kind of motion. You can turn it all around, get all kinds of crazy poses. Then he has the U joint, so you can move him. He can crunch back that far, and that's with both the ab cut here and the diaphragm joint and the U joint. And he can bend forward that much, almost touch his toes here. His legs spread that far. He can kick forward that pretty high, actually, which is pretty nice. He can move back just a tiny little bit. He has thigh cut, double jointed knees there, as you can see. He has boot rotation, or I guess you could say upper calf rotation. His feet can bend down that far, up that far, and of course they do have the nice ankle pivot. So overall, very good articulation. The only thing he's really missing, at least for a Spider-Man for me, because he even has the butterfly joints here. Mine are a little stiff, so it's kind of hard, but you can kind of see, yeah, he can bend in pretty good range of motion on the butterfly joints. But all he's really missing for me is the toe articulation. But other than that, the articulation on this guy, very, very, very solid. Now, moving on to size comparisons, here he is next to his other wave mates that I've reviewed so far, and yeah, you can definitely tell on this Amazing Fantasy body, which is it's meant to be his first appearance, where he's like 15, 16, he does look very tiny next to Cap and Iron Man here, which isn't very comic accurate. He should be a bit taller and more along their line, but it still looks pretty good. If you want more of a teenage-looking Black Suit Spider-Man, maybe you're a fan of the Spectacular Spider-Man series, like I am, favorite Spider-Man show, this could be a good stand-in for that. So that's how he looks next to them. Since I've been bringing it up and mentioning it and talking about it, here he is next to the Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man, and you can tell that, yeah, that is very much the mold that they went with, which isn't a bad thing at all. The Amazing Fantasy mold is very good. It's very good for a teenage, very good, thin, shredded Spider-Man, as he should be. He should be a lot, but And they do look, actually, they look really cool together. This is a very good. The only difference is that he has, you can see right there, the little ports for the web wings, whereas the black suit does not. So they may have, I wonder, his biceps. Yeah, they are different. It does look like they use different biceps because you can see there's kind of like more musculature in that little bit right there, and that's not really there. So that's kind of cool. So they did change that up a little bit at least. And then we'll throw him next to the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. See how they, and you can kind of see, like, yeah, this is very massive size. Well, not massive, but significant size difference. It definitely looks like a teenager compared to a fully grown adult, which is, again, it is cool to have that kind of a different take on the Black Suit Spider-Man. And then for a little bit more foreshadowing, I guess we'll say here he is next to the Juggernaut Waves Build-A-Figure Brown Suit Wolverine, or Outback Wolverine, I guess he's also called. And he's still taller than Wolverine, so I guess that counts for something, at least. And last but not least, for size comparisons, here he is next to my favorite Black Suit Spider-Man figure, on the Renew Your Vows body mold. This is the VHS animated series Black Suit Spider-Man, which still is my favorite one so far. I love this highlight. It makes it look, it doesn't read necessarily as animated Spider-Man to me. It reads more as, oh, this is the symbiote. Whereas all these more matte black ones, it could be the symbiote, it could be the cloth costume. I like that this has all the blue highlights on it because it makes me think more. I wish there was a little bit more on the back, but it does make me think more of the symbiote. So this is still a great figure, but for me personally, this is kind of my ultimate or definitive Black Suit Spider-Man until we get something better, which will probably be, and I know I've said it in most every Spider-Man related video, on that Maximum Spider-Man body mold. Alright, so in conclusion, I really like this figure, and I'm really happy that I did this review because I found out things about the figure that I may not have caught had I just got him and brought him home normally. You know, noticing he's on a different body mode, so he does have differences to that VHS Spider-Man. And I like this figure a lot now, even more than I thought I would. So I would definitely 100% recommend it, especially if you don't have a Black Suit Spider-Man and you're looking for one. You could get this right now, or you could wait till we inevitably get a redo of that Maximum series figure, which they're definitely going to do. But if you can find this for around MSRP and you really want a Black Suit Spider-Man figure now, I would definitely say pick it up. He's a really, really cool figure. The Amazing Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy 15 body mold is really good and can get him in some really great poses. So, yeah, that's about it. Highly recommend it. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you are so inclined, I'd really appreciate a like, comment, and maybe even subscribe for more action figure reviews and content. And that's about it. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace and love, everybody.